Hey guys, I've been meaning to do this video, so let's do it right now. Let's talk about this Darksaber. During my season 3 finale review of The Mandalorian, I talked about the Darksaber. I brought up the issue of the weight factor of the Darksaber. How is Mando, Din Djarin, having such issue with this Darksaber, right? I was under the impression that it required a certain amount of training. It required a certain type of training. The saber is heavy in weight, therefore you need to move your body, attack with momentum of your body and whatnot. It's like a certain technique on how to fight, and Mando didn't understand that, but Bo-Katan did. Then in the finale, we see Bo-Katan wielding it like with one hand, like nothing, flying with it, wasn't front heavy. Clearly, there was no weight factor when Bo-Katan uses it. So I was like, this does not make any sense. I've had people try to explain it to me, saying that you have to become one with the blade. It takes a sort of spiritual connection to the blade in order to use it. And if so, why isn't that the case with a lightsaber? It's still a kyber crystal. Why can't Jedis just grab another person's lightsaber, as we've seen in the Attack of the Clones, just getting tossed a lightsaber and using it? Like, you don't have a spiritual connection with the blade, right? I'm not one with the weapon or anything like that, right? So that doesn't really make sense either. The other explanation I've got is that there shouldn't be any conflict within the person. But Bo-Katan had conflict in season 3. She wasn't sure where her allegiance lied. By the end, she joined both. And remember, she was having conflict because she saw the mythosaur. She was in conflict this season. Whereas Mando, he's pretty much had a clear mission. So it really came down to the training. So why is this Darksaber heavy for Mando and not heavy for Bo-Katan? It doesn't make any sense. Where is this weight factor coming from? As you guys know, I've been watching Star Wars Rebels, and they give an explanation. And it's nothing like what we've seen in The Mandalorian or any of the other explanations that I got. Kanan said the reason why the blade is heavy is that there's an energy current flowing through the blade. This is not like a regular sword. It's like a lightsaber. So lightsabers are also a bit heavy, according to the Rebels' explanation. He tells Sabine, who's training with the Darksaber, that she's not really fighting with the blade, but more so she's directing a current of power. And yes, according to Kanan, her emotions, her energy does flow through the crystal. So that does play a part in it, and why there is a weight factor, because there's energy from the user and the crystal flowing through. So you could say, like, yeah, they become one. But the weight factor is nothing like that was shown in The Mandalorian, where Mando is literally struggling to pick the thing up and all that stuff. No. She's in Rebels, Sabine is fighting with the Darksaber, and she's like, oh, wow, this thing is heavy. And the blade did become lighter once Sabine started connecting with it. However, like I said, the weight factor is nowhere near as extreme as in The Mandalorian. Gar Saxon had absolutely no trouble wielding the Darksaber. And also, since Darksabers and lightsabers both use the kyber crystal, the same rules should apply. And this is where it comes to episodes 1 through 6 being the only canon for me. Star Wars Rebels is not canon. Clone Wars is not canon to me, right? Because we should be seeing this same thing happening with lightsabers. How does General Grievous wield a whole bunch of lightsabers? How did Obi-Wan and Anakin get tossed brand new lightsabers with brand new kyber crystals in them and use them just fine like they were using their other lightsaber, right? This idea of connecting with the idea of kyber crystals is not even canon, okay? So the idea of connecting to the blade and being able to use it, and only once you connect it, you're able to use it effectively because that weight factor is no longer there, that's not canon. At least that's not George's canon. So now let's put aside the weight factor of the Darksaber and let's talk about Bo-Katan and the Darksaber. Bo-Katan denied the Darksaber. Sabine tried to give it to her and she denied it. Not because she didn't win it in combat, but because she didn't think she was right to rule Mandalore. She said, I'm not my sister. And then, later on, she did end up accepting the Darksaber. Without a fight, without anything, she didn't vanquish any foe and take the Darksaber from them. No, she accepted. Sabine gave her the Darksaber and she accepted. She accepted the position to rule Mandalore for the people, for her sister. No fighting, no combat, no winning at all. In The Mandalorian, she refused to take it because she didn't win it rightfully. So, completely different. These discrepancies are another reason why, to me, George Lucas canon, episodes 1 through 6 are the only canon. If I can have a conversation with George and he can tell me that lightsabers do indeed have a weight factor and that you need to connect to the blade and become one with it, become one with the crystal, your energy flows through it and all that stuff, then I'll believe it. If he can explain why Anakin and Obi-Wan in Attack of the Clones got 2 random lightsabers and were able to use it completely effectively, why Obi-Wan grabbed Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber and used it completely effectively, why General Grievous can gather lightsabers from random people and use it effectively, if you can explain that, then okay, fine. I'll believe it. But until then, episodes 1 through 6 are my canon, and there is no weight factor to these things. But that's my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.